In this video we will cover fueling and oiling the lawnmower.
Okay, if we have a look at the side of the lawnmower here on the motor, there is a oil cap. So we need to remove the oil cap. This is on the first fill. And this unit takes 350 mils of 4-stroke oil or 10W30 type oil. So I've already poured out in a container 350 mils of oil. It's always advisable to use a funnel, and it's always best when you're putting oil into these machines to do it very slowly, because when you're putting oil in, air has to come out, and if you pour it in too quickly it will bubble out all out through the sides and everywhere. So just put it in, try and keep a small gap here so some air can escape, right? But just do it slowly and we won't have any problems at all. A nice big long funnel like the one I'm using here is always helpful, and it needs to have a fairly small neck on the bottom. A 10W30 is it's not a really thick oil, but it's certainly thicker than water, so it does need a little bit of time to allow the oil to run all the way down, like so. And then we're still going a little bit there. Now when this is completely drained out of the funnel, we then have to replace the cap. It's important to replace the cap because the bottom of this motor is partly pressurized every time the piston comes down. So if this is not on properly, then oil will come out of this hole. So let's make sure that the cap is on and on properly. Now, when you're going to use the mower for the first time, you need to add this oil, but then consequently every time you use the mower afterwards, when you pull it out of your shed, it's always good to then remove the oil cap and have a look and make sure that there is sufficient oil, and you can see the oil is up to the cross hatch section up here on the H level, and indicating there's sufficient oil. If it's below, it's always best to top it up to that level before you start the mower. Tightening it up, you will tighten it, and as you're tightening you'll feel it suddenly become a little bit firm. That's the O-ring is now being compressed. Just make sure it is then given a final tightening to make sure that it doesn't leap or weep from that seal. Fuel is put in at the top. Again, it's 191 octane fuel. There is no need to mix any petrol with this. It's just straight fuel. So, and just put that straight in. Like so. This will take around about 1.2 to 3 litres. So there's no need to fill it all the way to the top. Just put in what you're going to use. It's always better to not to overfill this if you're not going to be using the mower. You don't want the mower to sit in your shed for weeks on end with fuel in it. So just put in what is required. So we've added oil to the sump of the motor. We've put in into our fuel into the tank. We're now ready to start it.